Em Smurf should have never rode with a CEO that tried to come off as a drug kingpin. Should have known he was fugazi just from that.
Well, this is the question that, believe it or not, I get from so many people. Should Em Smurf have rode with Rick Ross in the first place? Should Em Smurf aligned himself with Rick Ross from Maybach Music after have already been linked up with 50 Cent? What do you think about that, man? Let me take it to you first, Bars. Darrin Bars, Mikey T, the movie star. This is probably the hottest topic that the people asked me to talk about, man.
See, this right here is a tricky situation, man. It's all about your loyalty, where you come from, you know what I mean? Like how y'all came up, why y'all fell out. There's so many ins and outs to how this whole situation could come about. But in a lot of situations, you could be looked at as what? The classic term that we learned from history class is a?
Benedict Arnold.
Exactly. So when you trade in teams like this, regardless of the situation, from anybody that was on that team or rooting for that team that you then left, you're always going to look like a traitor. On the other hand, a man's got to eat. A man's got to remain relative. If he can't get it over here, he's going to go try to get it over here. I see where the confusion can come from. But Em rolling with a CEO, I mean, he wasn't necessarily a cop. The problem with Rick Ross wasn't that he was a CEO. It was the problem that he lied about it. That story could have easily been flipped. You get what I'm saying? We all got real jobs. That's a fact. And you're going to get money from somewhere. I don't care where it comes from. That story could have been flipped. You could have kept it. But when he lied, that makes all your credibility go out the window. You dig?
So do you think Em Smurf compromised his values by working with somebody who worked in the correctional facility?
Definitely. I mean, for somebody that's being locked up, you get what I'm saying? But he's not that man anymore. And at the same time, you got to remember, like, the relationship that you have with somebody may not have the relationship that somebody else may have with somebody. You know what I mean? That's the truth, too. Not everybody can get along. That's just how the world works.
You know, a lot of people give Em Smurf hell because they're like, why do you sign to so many labels? Why do you work with everybody that goes against 50 Cent? Hey, man, truthfully, Smurf didn't. Truthfully, he didn't. He went and he worked with Rick Ross, who had the most popular record label at the time. Who in their right mind wouldn't have worked with Rick Ross and MMG at that time, Darrin?
Nah, facts. Big facts. He was smoking hot. Enough to go overseas, and that's where they linked up, in Trinidad.
Yeah, I was actually there when they linked up in Trinidad, and Rick Ross hugged Em Smurf like he was hugging Lil Wayne. So the embrace that I saw right there, allegedly it was Ross hitting Smurf up like, yo, I want to talk to Shaniqua. And Smurf was like, yo, you ain't going to be able to talk to 50's baby mama, but you're going to holler at me. So that right there initially is how they linked up. Now, for anybody out there trying to call Smurf a traitor for linking up with Rick Ross, anybody trying to say he compromised his values because of the fact that he was a fake kingpin, because of the fact that he was CEO, I mean, you got to really put that type of shit to the side. Rick Ross was coming with a record deal from Def Jam, the biggest label out there. Every single person is trying to make their label that big. So the fact that Smurf got a deal with him, even if it was the fact that he was beefing with 50, I mean, it's a major accomplishment to me, in my eyes. You know, but what do I know? I'm just a civilian, right? A lot of people out there are going to say, Em Smurf, you've been locked up. You were locked up for 3.5 years and deported, and the people who watched after you, you then signed with.
Yeah. And it's not even the first time that we've seen people do this, man. Like,
it's not?
No, definitely.
People have signed with cops before?
No, that's new.
Because I'm going to be real, I would not sign with a cop.
That's new. But if you want to get into it, all these record labels are owned by people that own, I don't even want to get into it, but prisons. But we'll get into that another time.
I would sign to Jimmy Iovine, but I'm not signing to Officer Rick